Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be telling you how you can prepare for 2xWEEKEND in Adopt Me, which is coming out very soon tomorrow. I'm sorry I still don't have an intro, it should be ready by tomorrow, but anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. So I know a lot of things have changed, like a few updates and stuff, so I thought I'd go over a different way of how to prepare because we have obviously got new features in the game. So for tip 1 would be to prepare your grinding home. As you can see over here, I've got a big ball pit with pianos, and here I've got the litter boxes. This is a new feature for the potty task in Adopt Me, so I'm not sure how many of you guys have already added them to your build, but I highly recommend being prepared before 2xWEEKEND starts and adding stuff into your build that is kind of new. For example, the litter boxes. This is because if you try work on a whole brand new build or during 2xWEEKEND, you're actually not making the most of 2xWEEKEND, you're wasting time. So I highly recommend making the most out of it by having a build prepared beforehand. Now for tip 2, what I mean by travel is I recommend having something you can travel around the map faster and easier, so you get your tasks done as fast as possible. For example, I've got the hoverboard. You can either use a different type of vehicle, a hoverboard, or even things like hyperspeed potions, or you can eat certain foods like cinnamon rolls to run up faster. Tip 3 is self-explanatory, but if you grind as a baby like this, you'll be able to earn 4 times bucks for yourself instead of 2 times bucks because you're obviously doing yourself as well as your pet. For tip 4, I recommend using pizza food, especially if you're a baby. This is because I'm going to show you what happens, but I haven't really shown anyone give this example yet, but I'm going to do it for you. The reason why I recommend going to the pizza and stocking up food is because when you eat it as a baby, you only have to press on it once. For example, it's just really fast to eat. For example, when you eat certain foods like sandwiches and stuff, you have to press it a couple times to finish the task, where with this food you don't have to. This doesn't work by getting it from the supermarket, but it definitely works from getting it from the pizza place. So for tip 5, I recommend using full-grown pets. This includes megas, luminous pets that are neon, or even just a regular normal full-grown pet. This is because you can age up your pets but gain age up potions in the process. So obviously normally I don't know what I want to age up during 2xWEEKEND, and sometimes I regret doing it and I don't want to waste 2xWEEKEND on a certain pet. So what I like to do personally is just a grind for a bunch of age up potions, and then I can pick what I want to use those age up potions on after. But I really highly recommend doing this with age up potions because this is your time to get as much age up potions as you can. So for tip 6, when you do get a mystery task, which I'm going to show you an example of with my pet, but when you get a mystery task like this, I recommend you press the one that gives you the most bucks. For example, mine would be the salon because that gives me 18 bucks. So we're going to do that instead of the other ones because it gives the most bucks. So I highly recommend you doing this, especially in 2xWEEKEND, because I mean, you get double that because it's 2xWEEKEND, which is even better. This goes on to tip 7, which is bonus rewards. So I'm going to give you an example. Say if your pet is hungry and it wants you to use a specific food. For example, I don't know, a cinnamon roll. So originally it would be 10 bucks you would get for feeding that pet. But if you use a certain food, you will get 30 bucks, for example. So I recommend you give them what they are after instead of doing something random. This way you get 30 bucks times 2, that's 60 bucks. So that is a lot of bucks, so I highly recommend doing that too. For tip 8, I recommend using your Hotbar, and to do this you go down in settings and press edit Hotbar, and here you can put in what you want. So I highly recommend putting in what you're going to use the most in 2xWEEKEND. For example, my hoverboard and possibly a stroller, because I'd probably bring my ults on to grind with. This saves you so much time going back and forth through your inventory as well. For tip 9, if you're a bit lazy and you don't want to go outside and use a vehicle, another option you could do is use a stroller and walk around, or you can get this thing called a iSearch belt, and it comes out with this little ramp thing, and you can use it for to do the vehicle task on, or you could just walk around with a stroller. That works too. Okay, so for tip 10, I recommend setting goals and what your plan is for 2xWEEKEND. Whether that's you want to age up a fully grown pet to grind a bunch of age up potions, or whether you want to make a certain pet neon or mega, or even how much bucks you want to earn each day. For example, I want to earn at least 2,000 bucks per day during 2xWEEKEND. So set goals like that for yourself to make yourself feel more motivated, especially when you reach those goals. For tip 11, I recommend keeping trades off, especially if you're in a public server so you don't get distracted. I personally don't like to trade very often during 2xWEEKEND because they don't come out that often and I want to make the most out of it. Tip 12, don't miss out any tasks. I know some people say, oh, make sure you do your orange tasks and don't miss those ones because they come and go. But I think you should do this with all tasks. For example, especially the food one and the drink thirsty one. This is because you won't get that task again until you obviously complete it. So no matter what the task is, I recommend you do it straight away because the quicker you do your task, the quicker you will get more tasks. And if you don't do it as quickly, you will probably miss out on quite a lot of bucks during 2xWEEKEND. So I highly recommend you do all your tasks immediately. For tip 13, I recommend using alt accounts. If you have multiple devices, use as many alt accounts as you possibly can, because obviously the more alt accounts you use, the more bucks you'll get and the more bucks you can transfer to your main and the more pets you can age up at once. For my 14th and final tip, I recommend trading or even buying the Pet Pro Handler certificate. This is because you can equip 2 pets at the same time, and this means you'll be able to get more bucks, more tasks done, more aging done, and overall it's just even better than just doing one pet on one account. Especially if you don't have alt accounts or many devices, I recommend getting this. And even if you can't buy it with Robux, you can easily trade for these. So I highly recommend you get one before it starts. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope these tips help you guys, and I hope you guys are really excited for 2xWEEKEND, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.